Hey everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's on the Tuber. Welcome back. If this is your 19th The Rookie Season 5 episode review. Wow, it's 19 reviews we've done so far this season, this year. Where does the time... I literally say this every time we roll into a new season, or like we're just beginning the season. Like, we got a long way to go before we reach the back half. And here we are. We're entering now, after this week, our final break until the last stretch of episodes for the season. Season's over by May 2nd. And also I'm very thankful that they decided to end both Rookie and Rookie Feds literally the Tuesday before I go on like a mini vacation. So I'm like, I'm not going to miss anything live, but you'll still have your content even when I'm away. So I'm like, I'm very happy about that, but also the fact of like, yeah, this is the last 3 week off, and ironically, they perfectly aligned as we're like, they've been doing these 3 week break. We're like, 3 weeks doesn't seem so bad in reality, and then literally like, we'll be back at it. I mean, again, it comes back like, I think the date's still on the screen, almost at the end of April, and I'm like thinking to myself, Jesus Christ, I have to go through now this little last week of March and almost majority of April before we get to see the real finale act of The Rookie this season. And again, I'm still ABC. It's we haven't heard renewals yet. We're kind of coming out to the wire here. Come on, like, so we need to know. I mean, yeah, everyone's saying, yeah, it's a sure thing, it's a lock, but like, yeah, I know, but like, I want to hear the official announcement. Like, we're gonna get an official announcement at this break. We have to. It's like inevitable. Like, but whatever it might be, going into it on this week's episode of The Rookie, we kind of got, this is, when we did Aaron last year, when Aaron, was the newbie, and we got his like intro storyline with him dealing with the trauma from being accused in the past for a murder. And, with Selena joining this season with her, the guilt and, the unresolvedness of the cold case of her sister, it kind of created like, we were most likely going to get that wrapped up this season. This was the episode. And I think they did a really, really great job with this episode. I think comparing it to apples and oranges, I think like, yeah, this was a much better presentation. Like, it definitely kind of, the message was, don't judge a book by its cover, or just don't, something similar to that effect. We're finally seeing the conclusion of Selena's, hopefully her intro storyline, with this episode. It really did, come home where like, this was mostly a good way up. They built it up pretty well, so to speak. I feel like there was a couple missed opportunities with this storyline. Not in this episode per se, but like now looking back on the whole storyline, I felt like they could have done a little bit more setup or a little bit more different framing, so to speak. But anyway, with that being said, I still think this was a great episode. The Rookie, this was mainly focusing on just the one storyline with the kidnapping storyline, and we had one subline, but like it is what it is on that front. With that being said, let's go through the Butcher recap and talk about this week's episode of The Rookie. So we begin with, it's a new day, brand new day. Nolan's getting ready for work. Bailey is off. She's finally off after a very long week of work. She has a full day off to herself. And for once, she's going to do nothing. She's trying to pull a Phineas and Ferb. Not really a Phineas and Ferb, but like, she's just going to stay put on this couch and just do nothing all day. And I swear to God, it's been so long since I had that. I think I've literally, like, I can't stay on the couch anymore. I can't. Like, I'm only 25. There's so much to do. I just can't sit on the couch. Like, there's always something to do. But anyway, and no one calls her out on that because like we all know Bailey. She just can't stay put for long. She really can't, which is true. She really can. Even like when Nolan mentions that, oh, it's going to be sunny this weekend, so I'm going to go take the furniture outside to go power wash it. And she's like, oh, I can do that. And Nolan's like, nah, see what I mean? See what I see? See what I see? Anyway, we cut over to the cemetery. It's the anniversary of when, it's the birthday of Selena's fallen sister. Looping back all around to her beginning. And just seeing that, and and her just, I can't really relate to this thing because like, yeah, the only person I lost seriously in my life is my grandma, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm a bad person for saying this, but like, I haven't visited her in a while because we buried her way too far, and my scheduling is like all over the place. But yeah, I'm overdue for a visit. But it really does suck that yeah, that this is those types of days are like not really the best ones to have. But she still has to go to work regardless of that. She gets no day off. We come back to the station. Actually, not yet, because this is like trending on Twitter, not trending on Twitter, trending on my Twitter. The exclusive sneak peek of the episode where we see Chen and Bradford have their night together, just having a couple's morning where they're just, having a little bit of breakfast. Chen is studying for the detective's exam because that's her next step. She wants to be a detective. And I'm like, where did that come from? Like, didn't you want to be undercover? Remember that storyline? I mean, yeah, that's kind of resolved. She went through undercover school, but still, it's still like, yeah, didn't you want to be in that section? But okay, it is what it is on that front. But they're smoothing. They're still playfully teasing each other a lot. And again, I know that everyone's happy. I get it. I'm not one to ship, so I'm like, there you go. That's my acknowledgement. We come back over to the station where Lopez questions no one where is Juarez, and he says like, yeah, she has a late morning because of her visiting her sister's grave, and Lopez discovers a couple of coincidences that have occurred. That there were two other kids that were kidnapped on the same exact day, different years apart, literally on today's date. And no one's like, that's eerily coincidental that 3 girls of the same age on the same birthday all got kidnapped. Not like back to back, not every year, but like every, like, when it comes around, like, it comes around, but if that makes sense. No one will make sure to fill in Juarez about this when they have a chance to do it. Chen goes over to the sign-up board for the detective's exam, ready to go. And then, of course, after a little bit of a break, I'm not a really big fan of this break, but Smithy finally returns to our screens. It's been a while, Smithy. Actually, it hasn't been, like, it's been a while. I haven't seen Smithy in a while. I haven't said our usual words in a while. But Smithy dropped some little facts on Chen that, even though Chen could ace the entire oral exam, the written exam with 100%, she ain't gonna be in the top 12. That ain't gonna happen. Because apparently, there is a certain detective that's on the committee or the squad or whatever the oral exam is, and that person has an out for Chen. He or she or they will not pass Chen, so she will not go to the top 12. And while usually Smithy's information has been very not the best, there's still some credibility there, and because in the circumstances that Harper will investigate further and see if there is some validity to Smithy's truth. And I think we cut immediately over to the ride-alongs. I want to say, I think we just jump into that. No one tells Juarez about the coincidental, kidnappings on her sister's birthday. Juarez, of course, finds that eerie, as well as the same time that she wasn't able to sense her sister's presence around her grave today, that this could all mean, something's about to happen. Who really knows? And then literally a few seconds later, they get a call. It's a possible kidnapping. So they take the call to go respond to it. Meanwhile, Chen is still hold on, who could be the person that is going to hold me up on this detective exam? And of course, Aaron says the most obvious thing that I think we all agree with. Who cares? It's Smithy. Why would we? Number one, don't trust Smithy. And number two, don't trust Smithy. Wise words from Aaron. So they're just going to cooperate on this for a little bit of a while. They're going to stew on it for a little bit. Selena and Nolan hit up the house where the kidnapping call took place. The mom is frantic, trying to look for her daughter. Obviously, she was kind of hoping that they would have found her already. That wasn't the case. Eventually, once they start realizing it's a kid, it's a 6-year-old, it's starting to slowly fit the bill of the previous kidnappings with the same MO. Then they started realizing, okay, yes, something's up here that we need to get this. We need to get everyone on deck on this. So everyone comes in, the detectives, all the cops. Trying to just figure out, it's still a little too early to say whether or not this is going to be a full-blown part 4 to this entire ordeal. But, it is safe to say that, yes, so this is most likely going to be the same person that we dealt with before, so that they really need to, get everyone, expand the perimeters, trying to find any sort of leads, get any sort of connection. But really, right now in this area, it's really difficult to find anything that's, usable in this area. I want to say, yeah, so yeah, I know Lucy and Aaron get roped in. They're kind of just figuring things out. Even Aaron gives Selena some advice about just, keeping her composure, that this is a very crucial moment in trying to solve this entire thing, because not only could this solve this thing, it could solve everything else, so she needs to keep her head in the game and keep herself pretty cool. Also, that reminds me, I swear to God, Chen lost like a little bit of my respect back in the other scene where she's with Aaron. She says like, yeah, like the police department's kind of like high school, but however, now I'm one of the cool kids. I'm like, Chen, you spent nearly 5 seasons earning my respect. You didn't lose my respect, but you lost some points off my respect. You lost the T in the respect. Yet I earned it again. Anywho, so yeah, knowing that this is going to be a very, serious investigation connected to all the other 3, Greg calls in one of the old detectives that was responsible on the original case back way moons ago, back during Selena's sister's turn. And he's retired now. He's kind of like not doing anything, so he's like grateful, like, the opportunity to get called in and like, be able to participate. And the only thing he was able to drop, that was off the record, off the reports, that he was interrogating and like, trying to put the blame on this one individual, but it wasn't able to stick. He was just a very creepy dude. He has had a history with pedophilia back in that time period. Now he's kind of like not reformed, but like he's kind of like severely under probation. So they weren't able to stick anything in him, but he was pretty creepy during the interview process. So if anything, that would be your guy to like, look at first. So they pass it along to Lucy and Aaron to go check him out. So when they arrive at the house, they only have suspicions. I mean, technically, since he's under parole, he's legally obligated to let them in, and they find a doll in his little cubby, and he's like, no, like I'm allowed to have it, and they're like, no, that violates your parole. You're not allowed to have any children's toy. Which I sort of got. Does that count Funko Pops? Because technically, it would be. What's the age limit on these? They don't break them on anymore. Goddamn. They do? They don't. Goddamn. Just the older pops. Anywho, back to the math. I was just double checking over there. Anywho, back to the thing. Selena's kind of watching the perimeter, making sure that no one gets in and around, just to not contaminate the crime scene. And then another officer comes in, immediately recognizes Juarez, and they both hug each other. And which for me, I'm like, did she have a boyfriend? Did we miss something in a previous episode that she was dating another cop? No, it turns out this was one of the original cops that served on her sister's investigation many moons ago. It turns out they stayed in touch after so long, and that even he was there when her sister was battling in the hospital, but sadly did pass away. And he has been keeping in touch with the family now and then since that original event. That Selena kind of considers him like a father figure, considered him the inspiration for her being a cop, and she introduces him to Nolan, but immediately Nolan's getting that fishy vibe off him, like something's not clicking here, something's really off here. Even a couple seconds later, they get called away saying that they found a boot print in the nearby patch of dirt, and Nolan's still getting a pretty bit of a creepy vibe off him. Even the guy like suggests like, hey, can I go inside the scene and see if I can find anything myself? And he's like, no, sorry, chain of command, like, chain of custody, you can't be involved in the scene. You can't, otherwise that'll contaminate everything. He's like, got you, just wanted to help. That was all it. So Nolan voices his concerns to Lopez and Harper, that after he did a little of his own digging, that he had a daughter, this officer, and that girl, his daughter, was the exact same birthday as today, same exact age when she was taken away from him, and that this is all coincidental. That there's a good chance the kidnapper was always within their ranks all this time. However, again, it's still too soon. They need something concrete. They need something, very factual for them to do. So Harper just volunteers to kind of bring him in under the guise of trying to gain knowledge from his previous experiences on the other cases in order to see if this would be enough to really nail down the truth. Even when Nolan kind of tells Juarez about it, she immediately denies. Is like, no, absolutely not, impossible. Like, this guy literally has been with my family for tooth and nail. There's absolutely no way he could be involved in the kidnapping. You're wrong. And I'm like, yeah, Selena, that's what they told you. You gotta be objective. You can't have opinionated options when you're dealing with this sort of thing, especially since you're kind of close to this case. So, you gotta really watch your language there. I want to say we get called back over to the station. I know, once Chen and Aaron got the doll, they call in more units to go fully search over the house just in case Lopez comes over to basically put him on the pedestal. Like, yeah, if we find any sort of evidence that this little girl herself or any of her properties on this premises, you will be going back to prison. They go into the backyard and they find her teddy bear. They find the little teddy bear that the girl was holding when she got kidnapped. So that immediately makes him the primary suspect again. Meanwhile, with the other guy, he's back at the station. Harper's not really grilling him, but like kind of just like getting his knowledge on all the cases, trying to figure things out piece by piece. Even when Gray and Bradford chime in, Juarez is still very much in disbelief. Like, there's no way it's him. It can't be him. And, Gray almost took her off the case because, again, she's supposed to be fully unbiased here. She apologizes and then composes herself. And they do realize, and they find a connection that this guy has visited the families of the previous two kidnapped children. Where's my tea? I forgot my tea. God damn it. That before the kidnapping. So as if they can get Selena's going to also admit that, I guess he did visit them before Bianca got taken. That would be the key. So Noah and Juarez decide to go bring her in, get her interrogated, see if she can admit that information, while Bradford decided to truly see if he did do it, because his car logged him as, further away from the scene than anticipated, but, there's still a chance he could have found, some sort of, loophole because his car was being tagged. What happens after that? Yeah, I believe after that, so we split up for a little bit. They bring eventually Juarez and Nolan bring in bring in the guy. They bring in the mom first. Initially, she's like under the guy's like, yeah, I met him after she got kidnapped. But then once again, Juarez pushing it a little bit further, like, yeah, no, tell the truth now. You've already been lying for a long time. She admits that one night she was gone. She was out of it. She had a whole drug session and knocked her out. He found her. Instead of arresting her and basically calling child services on her to take away the children, he just dropped her out back at the house. The only condition is bring your children out so I can see them. And then that was it. He left and never came back until the actual, the kidnapping, meaning that again. So there was the established pattern of him visiting the families before the kidnappings occur. So that literally links everything together. But they're not able to pursue further on this possibility because that's when Lopez calls in and discusses yes, we found the teddy bear in this guy's backyard. We're gonna arrest him on this, and see maybe this is the guy. So they arrest him, they bring him in. Juarez is still a little bit in disbelief that this is the guy, but he also she's not 100% convinced it's him. So Lopez pulls him in for an interrogation, but however, this guy's acting very surprised that he'd never seen this teddy bear before in his backyard. This is all scam. This is all a lie. And Lopez is a little inclined to believe him. Even when Harper hears this news, there's still too many inconsistencies with this guy's story that there's just, you can't ignore this just because we presume we got the guy. And it's to keep playing this angle a little bit. So they just tell him oh no, we got him. We got the guy. We found his teddy bear. But the key thing that Harper noticed was that he didn't ask if Selena was if the girl was all right, meaning that he didn't care or that he would know where she is. Which would definitely be red alarms for him. So because they can't suspect him and they still need to find the girl, they have to let him go, see if that can bring them a lead. Gray calls in Bradford and Metro to go pursue him, which they do. But however, after a little bit of time, the guy is able to split away on a motorcycle, getting away from them. And Bradford makes the call to not pursue him forward because it would have been a high-speed chase and we could have hurt someone. And, we already have one missing girl. We don't need another family to get destroyed or everything. So that was the call he had to make. Back over at the station, Grace fills in everyone. Presumably this is the guy, not the other dude. This is the guy who took the girl. Now the priority is to find the guy and then find the girl. And then, they should be on easy peasy street for a little bit. Juarez needs a second to kind of, isolate herself, kind of really think about everything that occurred. And that, in order for her to really understand and get the handle on that, she needs to find him. She needs to get the girl back and, so she's able to fully put this to rest. Thankfully, Lucy gets a lead from someone from checking the logs. He found that this particular officer responded to a call with squatters in it that he kicked out of. So that house could be a potential hiding spot for the girl if he was still keeping track of things, which most likely it was. I also forgot to mention that there was a quick scene where Smithy calls Chen when they're going to visit the pedophile. And Smithy said, you know what? I'm going to figure out who's going to break your detective's exam. So I got this. You can count on Smithy. I'm like, oh, God, yeah. Chen is due. she's got to consider a whole new profession now. Like, it's over. Time to restart the clock. So yeah, so they go. Well, before we get to them checking out the scene first, the guy, it was correct that house, the empty house, is where the guy's holding the girl. She's still passed out, but he decides to cradle her for a little bit by blanking her up. Again, kind of like the sketch has really had a 90-degree turn over here. Everyone starts responding. However, they still have to confirm whether or not she's still in there, so they can't just go guns a-blazing, because also it could hurt her as well, so they have to verify everything. So they send in a ball cam to see if she is there. They do confirm it, but however, the guy finds it and shoots the ball away. Juarez tries to talk him out of it, trying to calm him down a little bit, so enough to the point to get the girl away from it. Initially, it's still slow going. It's not really progressing any well, but Juarez, manages to find the thing that really takes into effect. He lets the girl go. Juarez makes a rookie mistake and runs after her, trying to get her away from him. That does work. She manages to get her out safely. And then afterwards, everyone swarms in. Bradford finds him in the bedroom, and they have a brief shootout, but Bradford manages to take him down with a single bullet. I'm not sure if that means he died or that he's, being held. They didn't really clarify that, but, we'll leave that open-ended for now. So we head back to the station. The entire matter is over. I want to say, yeah, Bradford has to go for IA because so he definitely did kill someone while on the job. So he has to go for that usual rigmarole right now. But Chen talks to Harper about that. And Smithy comes over and says, I know who did it. It was this one random detective we never met before, but this detective overheard the entire 5-player trait and was not impressed that Chen did all of this just for her boyfriend. So he will definitely not be giving Chen a good marking on the detective exam, whenever that is for her, which is going to screw her up a little bit. But at this point, there's really nothing she can do. She did what she did, and, Harper said, I did warn you, you were going to ruffle some feathers, and, the bill comes due. So that definitely does affect things going forward. Bradford has a little talk with Gray. Everything seems to be fine. IA is just going to do their normal investigation. They should be able to clear Bradford in just a couple days. But Gray obviously ask him if he needs a favor, he needs anything at all to ask. And Bradford's like, what, let me get back to you on that. I think I want to say afterwards, I forgot where we were. Yeah, so I think this is where we start splitting up. Lopez heads back home, talks to Wesley about just, their children's future and just making sure that everything's going to be all right. And that, between the two of them, they'll be fine. Nothing ever will happen to them. So don't worry about that. I really hope that doesn't, jinx them for the future. I want to say after that, yeah, Chen meets up with Bradford after work. They just talk about everything. Bradford will be fine, and that things should be perfectly okay going forward, and that maybe right now Bradford could just spend his extra free time to help Chen study for a detective exam, reminding them back in, I want to say season 1 or season 2, when Chen helped him with the sergeant's exam, and now it's time for Bradford to do his turn, and he's initially argumentative, but he's okay. That's yeah, Bradford's definitely softening up a little bit. I want to say earlier than that, Nolan and Juarez take Juarez's mom to the grave for the first time ever to go see her daughter. Just to, now that everything's over, they found the kidnapper. He's gone finally, and that, things can move on. Even Selena realizes that the reason why Bianca's not there anymore is because she finally knows that my duty to stay on the surface is gone. I can finally move on, and then that was what she was waiting for. Selena tries comforting her mother, who blames herself again, not just for the drugs, but because she let that guy into their lives, and then that lets Bianca's kidnapping and then later murder, and that, that this is all her fault. But, Selena tells her it's not all your fault. You didn't know, you weren't in the right mind space. It's okay. Well, not really okay, but you don't have to kill yourself even further than this. They just have a heartfelt moment between daughter and mother. Which honestly, yeah, it was very much appreciated. We got to see the end of Selena's, overall, hopefully first arc in the show. And then finally Nolan heads back home to Bailey after a very long day. That, they solved the cold case, they saved the child, and now they can sit back, relax, enjoy a nice long session of The Bachelor. God damn it, ABC. Stop promoting your other shows on this show. Come on, we had American Idol. Now we have The Bachelor. I want to say there was another show thrown in there. I want to say I forgot which one it was. It was something. I know they mentioned another popular show. Not Grey's Anatomy, I don't think. But yeah, but that ends the episode with Bailey passed out in Owen's arms, just like, super tired after her supposed day off. And that was it for this week's episode of The Rookie. So for me, again, I thought this was a great episode. I definitely, like, my only criticisms, well, not criticisms, but like, they didn't really they definitely set up Selena and her mom's like angle pretty well, trying to build that up to where we were towards the at the end of this episode. That made sense, but I feel like it would have been a little bit more impactful if they had let that police officer kind of roam around for a couple episodes, like not really like in a big capacity, but just like set that up a little bit more, because I think it just would have been beneficial to not only help Selena's character with her development, but also kind of fully set this up, similar to how back in season 2 when they set up, oh god, it's been so long since that season, when Nolan made friends with that I want to say detective or lawyer. It's been so long. I'm going to review season 2 again this fall, so I'm like, I'll eventually remember his name again. It was Malcolm Goodwin. So actually not Malcolm Goodwin, it was another actor. Damn, I'm confusing all the actors. I know too many people. But yeah, I would have appreciated them setting it up a little bit more, in my opinion, just a tad smidge more. But anywho, so I believe afterwards, yeah, just overall, the overall kidnapping story, everyone getting involved, this all made sense naturally. I'm still a bit curious on what the final end game is for the season, really. Usually there's going to be some sort of big finale story arc to really kick us off to the end. I'm not really quite sure what that is. I know Nolan and Bailey's weddings are coming soon, so I'm like, yeah, wouldn't that be next? We haven't really got much update on that for a while, so hopefully it'll be sooner rather than later. But for me overall, I think definitely them wrapping up Selena's overall story arc, her first story arc in the show, definitely was appreciated, and I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with her next. Probably not this year. Probably they're gonna put her on the slow burner again. But hopefully we'll see some cool stuff coming out of her character next time. But yeah, I'm gonna give this episode 2 thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this week's episode of The Rookie. And I believe that's going to do it for me today, everyone. So if you're unaware, this has been What's 2 from ActionX, reviewing every episode in the 5th season of The Rookie. If you want to know what we're doing or what's 2 besides our Rookie episode reviews, currently we're doing Rookie Fez episode reviews, Walker episode reviews, and Perry Mason episode reviews each and every week after their brand new episodes on their respective platforms. If you don't care about The Rookie, sadly, we're going to be off again for the last 3-week period of the season. We will return on April 18th with a brand new episode and a brand new episode review, so stay tuned. And after we begin that will begin our final stretch of Rookie content for this season. Obviously, you'll get the last 3 episode reviews for the season, then you'll do a Season 6 predictions video, then after we'll get into our Season 5 review, non-spoilers edition, and hopefully we will get that Season 6. God damn it, ABC, renew the damn show away. We have been waiting. Renew it. But again, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. Like, favorite, share if you want to. Ring the bell, and of course, follow us on social media. But until we see each other again, for all you members of the Rookie Nation out there, I'll of course see you in 3 weeks for the last run for the season. But until that point, stay safe out there, be good to each other. Enjoy majority of your month of April. But until we see each other again, peace out.